Hello everybody, I'm Chris, you're watching Park Pass, and today's video I'm going to try to answer all your questions because you had, boy howdy, did you have a lot of questions about the Disneyland strike, what it could possibly mean, and they were such good questions I had to go do some research to find out all the answers to your questions. Let's get into it, but before we get started, can I just say this? I know a couple of things real quickly. One, could you hit the like button and hit subscribe? Because we got a whole bunch of cool videos coming out. I had some secrets revealed videos coming out, a bunch of good stuff. You don't want to miss it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And number two, you're probably thinking, holy cow, Chris, you're wearing another colored shirt. That's where I was in a bunch of meetings today. And my wife again, she goes, I like the look. So I am wearing my orange shirt, which is my favorite color. So let's get into it. I put a video out talking about this possibility of Disneyland cast members going on strike. And I'll link that around here. You guys can watch that if you want to get into that, talking about that. But if you read those comments, people kept asking, and there's like really 5 major questions that kept coming up over and over and over again. And I'm going to try to answer those 5 questions. And then lastly, before we get those 5 questions though, I do want to say this in all earnestly. You guys know I don't work for Disney, right? People are getting really angry. Some people are getting very angry at me. They're like, how could you do this? How could? And I don't understand why they think that. I'm kind of flattered, but I don't. I'm just trying to report to you what's going on. That's it. So maybe they're just passionate. They need an outlet to be angry, and I'm the person they can be angry at. But I don't have any control or authority to change what's going on at Disneyland. I wish I did. If I did, things would be different. But let's get into it. All right. The number one question people are asking, like, Chris, can I get a refund? I planned this vacation a year ago. What if I get down there? What if Disneyland closes because of this strike? What's going to happen? Can I get a refund? That is a complicated answer. So let me answer the best that I can. It really depends on where you purchased your ticket from. Now, if you purchase your ticket from our friends at like Getaway Today, and you haven't used, let's say you bought a 5-day ticket, and then when you get ready to go on vacation, Disney does close down because of strike, yes, then you can get your ticket refunded through Getaway Today. Not a problem. If you go down on, let's say you bought a 5-day ticket through Getaway Today, and you go down there and use the first 2 days of your ticket, and then Disney, they vote to go on strike, they go on strike, and you have 3 more days, can you get a refund on those 3 days you didn't use? That's up to Disney, if Disney's going to do refunds or not. So I don't really know. If you buy your tickets from other places, they have some places do have refund policies and some don't. So it depends on where you bought your tickets from. So this is just another great reason why you want to buy your tickets through Getaway Today. You can get refunds. Okay, so that is it is complicated. Wherever you bought your tickets from, they're going to have their own policies on if there are refunds or not. All right. The number 2 question is, when I was talking about the cast members possibly going on strike, I think there's a lot of people who maybe didn't understand about these unions. There are multiple unions and for all these different cast members. I think a lot of people think there's just one giant union and all the cast members fall in that one union, and that's not the case. So for example, let me go through this right here. They call it the Bakery, Confectionery, Tobacco Workers, and Grain Millers. It's called the BCTGM or Local 83. That's one union. There's also the Service Employees International Union United Service Workers West, which is the SEIU USWW. That's kind of like your custodial staff. They're the Teamsters 495. You got United Food and Commercial Workers. They're Local 324. So you have different unions representing different sections of the cast members. And really, if you kind of want to break it down, of these 14,000 cast members who are in the unions, we're looking at custodial is a big one, okay? Attractions, that's another big one. Merchandise, food and beverage, entertainment, costuming, not the entertainers, but entertainer costuming. Now, where I'm getting some conflicting information is food and beverage, but it's not the food. I don't understand it. It's not the food workers or the food handlers, I think. I think it's just people who bring the food in. So I'm not exactly sure there. So maybe if somebody is in part of the union, if you could very clearly put that down in the comments down below, I'll pin that to the top so people can figure that out. Because I don't think it's the food handlers. I think it's just the people bringing food in or whatever. It's how it's working out. So That's why not all the cast members would be going on strike if they do go on strike, because those other unions they're not voting for strike. It's just these ones here. And so yeah, that's why, because people kept saying, why is the whole thing, everybody closing down? No, it's not. That's why I don't know if Disneyland will close down if they have a strike, because they're going to have other employees, cast members that are working, filling in for these other cast members at that time. Okay. So the number 3 question is, can you explain to me one more time, do they have to go on strike if they vote for that? This is a great question. I think when I explained the video, what ended up happening, I was filming this, I think I got distracted by my own thoughts. I might not have given you a very clear answer. So let's do this again. On July 19th, these 14,000 cast members, their unions, they're going to vote on whether or not they want to go on a strike or not. If the majority of them say, yes, we are going to go on strike, let's say 55% of these cast members vote to go on strike, and then 45% vote against going on strike, those 45%, they can't say, oh, we're not going to do this. It's all or nothing. So that 45% will then not go, they will not go into work. They're going to strike with the rest of their union. They're going to strike with the rest of the union. If for whatever reason, those people like that 45%, they're like, I can't, I can't not get a paycheck. They would have to resign from their union, write a letter to say, I'm not going to be part of this union, and then they could technically go to work if they want to. But the problem is if they do that, the social pressure of the people of the union, they're going to be very angry at those people. It causes a lot of contentions. Strikes, the morale is going to go down. People are going to be angry if there is a strike. That's just what happens during a strike. It's one of the casualties of a strike. But it's solidarity. So and then also one other thing I noticed is that that a lot of people assume that it's like a 90% or higher of all these cast members want to go on strike. I don't think so. I think that it's probably going to be a close margin one way or the other if they do or don't strike, because it's a big, huge loss for people. If money is tight and you're getting paycheck to paycheck, and all of a sudden you're saying, okay, I'm not going to get any more paychecks, then it makes it hard to vote for that. But then again, you are voting for it, trying to get better, to maybe get more pay or more benefits. So it's a really hard thing to do. And this is also where I'm a little bit confused. So if somebody, there probably needs to be not an entertainment attorney, but there needs to be an employment attorney from California who could talk about this. I no longer live in California, so I'm not sure. But people were saying that on a strike, if you vote for a strike, you can collect unemployment. Other states, you technically can't, but they said California can. But then people came in and says, actually, that was vetoed. The governor vetoed that, so they can't collect unemployment. So I couldn't find that. I was Googling and trying to find the information one way or the other to support that. I couldn't find that, so I don't know about that. So I just don't know. And I'm not going to give you a bad answer. So I don't know if they can collect unemployment if they go on strike. Okay. All right. Number 4 question. This was a very popular question. People ask this a lot. They're like, hey, if I already bought my tickets and the Disney cast members do vote to go on strike, but Disneyland doesn't close because the other cast members are still working to keep open, should I go or should I not go? And here's the thing. A lot of people gave a bunch of answers, but there's one answer in particular. Somebody from the union actually said this. This was your money. You didn't realize that Disney was going to go on strike or the cast members go on strike. It's that they're like, you can enjoy your vacation guilt-free because that money will be used to help bargain for better benefits for the cast members. That was what I got from the union. So I just think that the comments of the unions were saying about that is like, hey, this isn't something that you were planning for. This is happening outside of your orbit. And so go ahead, you can feel guilt-free. But I think that they probably, if they do go on strike, then at that point, I think secretly they probably wouldn't want you purchasing tickets to going at that point. But I don't really know. I mean, it's really hard to say because if everybody stopped going to Disneyland, then Disneyland's not going to have any money to give back to the employees and go like this. So it's this weird balancing act. But from what I was reading from the comments from the union members, they're saying, hey, yes, if you already bought your tickets, go guilt-free and enjoy your vacation. All right. Now, lastly, Why is there a debate on the strike? What is going on? This is like lots of people think the majority want to strike, and I kind of already talked about this. People were confused, like, why are they even voting on it? Everybody, I think that the media that's talking about this and reporting this makes it sound like it's 100% every single cast member wants to go on strike. They shouldn't even have to vote on it because they all want to go on strike. And so a lot of people are under the impression that almost all the cast members want to do that. I don't think that's the case. In fact, I know that's not the case. There's lots of cast members who have reached out and they're concerned about their livelihoods and what's going on, their families and providing. So this is not a big, huge thing where every single cast member wants to go on strike. Every single cast member would probably like to have better benefits or higher pay. I mean, how could you not? Everybody would like that when you have a job. And so I understand that, but I don't know if every one of them wants to go in and go on a strike. And there is some misinformation that's going out there. It makes it sound like everybody's doing this, and it's a foregone conclusion that this is going to happen. I don't know. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see in the vote when that happens. I hope this helps. I'm just trying to give you guys information. I'm only giving you answers that I know of and feel confident giving. I'm not trying to speculate here in any way, shape, or form. I hope this is helpful for you guys. These were the 5 questions that you guys kept asking over and over again. I realized I was like, oh my gosh, my first video, I might not have explained it well enough for you guys to understand that. So let's do this other video here where I can answer those questions. If you do have more questions, hopefully, maybe I've answered them all. But if you do have more questions, put them down in the comments down below. And if there's enough questions on the same topic, I'll try to make another video kind of talking about that. But I just want everybody to know that you are amazing. You are awesome. And I think you guys are all great. And I hope that you guys are having a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right. I know he says we're done, but I just had a few thoughts. This is where I'm giving my opinion. I want you guys to know that this is my opinion, okay? This is not factual. This is my opinion. There are some people saying that maybe they don't feel comfortable. They're like, I don't want to cross I bought tickets, but what do? I will let you know that I did another video over here about fun things you could do in Anaheim other than Disney. So you can look at that if you do have a vacation and you don't feel comfortable. Or other thoughts that you can possibly do is if you are going to Disney, maybe what you can do is you can buy your merchandise before you get to Disney, or you take your food in, carry all your food in so you're not buying food there if that makes you feel better. Those are all other options and ways that maybe you can to try to support the cast members if that's something that you are inclined to do. These are just some thoughts here because I know people are kind of talking about there's people. I don't think anybody wants you to feel guilty if you've planned a vacation, and you shouldn't feel guilty because this is a time for you and your family or you and your friends to go have an amazing experience. And I hope that you do have an amazing experience. And I think that everybody would want that. The cast members, I think the union, I think Disneyland would want you to have those amazing experiences. It would be unfortunate. And I hope that they can come to some type of agreement without having to go on a strike. I hope that they can meet each other and they can negotiate where they both walk away with what they call a win-win, so both sides feel good. That's really the best thing in business, right? Because if you do that, then people those deals tend to stick around a lot longer. All right, now for real. So I'm done. Oh, hit the like and subscribe.